Welcome to the Roadie Friday podcast with your hosts, Darren Makins and Jose Escudero.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hi. Hey, Jose.
Hey.
How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Still recovering from tour.
Recovering from tour. Didn't you just say like Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, got back 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay.
Doing stadiums and shit in South America.
Yeah, soccer stadiums. That was awesome. And it was summertime.
Oh, shit.
So it was cool.
Damn. Oh, yeah, I forget. It's on the other side of the equator.
We were touring in the winter and it's so dumb. I hate touring in the winter just because like we were in Michigan, like northern Michigan, like basically Canada, Sault Ste. Marie.
Okay, yeah.
And just like it was like 3:30 in the morning and I smell the smell of smoke in my bunk. And so, of course, my reaction is, oh, I'm just imagining this. So I'm just going to cover my mouth with my blanket. And then suddenly we hear the smoke detector go off in Bunk Alley. And so then we all open up our curtains and we just see nothing but smoke. And what had happened was it was so cold that the generator was just working overtime and melted down while we were driving.
Oh, my God.
And we almost died.
I still say, though, nothing beats when we had that trailer accident.
Ah, man, this is so close. Like, yeah, the trailer definitely sucked, but
that was funny.
So, how's everybody doing?
Great.
I'll let you
Great.
talk more.
Oh.
I feel like I'm talking a lot.
I'm usually can't shut up, so.
Yeah, it's true. She's being very quiet, which is weirding me out.
Well, it's a new group of people. We all already have a rapport, so I mean,
it's true. Yeah, because Jose and Darren. I mean, Darren and I did our first tour together. Was it 2019?
2019, yeah.
Yeah, just before the pandemic and everything. And then Jose, we did 2021.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and then this is our first tour.
Yep. So we have our first time returning guest, Francesca. And then we also have what like do you guys even have like a working relationship with each other, or is it just like you work in one area and you work in another area?
Yeah, it's completely separate.
Okay, because like I would consider like if I was drum teching and Jose was guitar teching, like I would consider him my quote counterpart, like stage tech counterpart. But if you guys are in separate areas, then we have Paris joining us. How do you pronounce your last name?
Visone.
Visone.
Yeah.
Okay, I would have gotten that way wrong.
Very Italian.
Okay, hell yeah. But do you want to tell us how you got started working in the industry?
So I've been a touring photographer for the past since 2010. So I started my first tour was with my ex-boyfriend's band in high school, and then that was in a van. And then my first like actual tour was with Blondie.
Oh, sick.
And
That's sick.
yeah, just started doing VIP and photo, and then sort of transitioned out of VIP to just photo. But I'll still do VIP because I love money. Yeah, double up.
Nothing wrong with that.
But yeah, but now I am a video director here on Godsmack. So it's a new role for me, which I've never done before. I just went right into it.
She's killing it, though.
And now I pretty much know how to do it.
When you say video director, does what exactly does that entail?
So, like if you have a big screen on the stage I'm directing that. So I'm running the content that's on it, and I'm also controlling like what the cameras do, basically. So we have 6 cameras on stage, people manning the cameras, and then I am switching live and directing them and telling like, oh, this camera, do this, go over here, get this sort of thing. And then I'm putting what's ever live on the wall.
Nice. Does the camera crew travel with you guys, or do you have locals every day?
No, yeah, we're all
Okay, cool.
We're all on.
Okay, that makes it easier.
Yeah, sure.
I've only ever seen your role on recently when I was on tour. I was out with Breaking Benjamin, and we were support for Disturbed, and it was the first time I saw kind of like the video director role. But they had locals operate the cameras every day.
Yeah,
so I'm guess like that's gotta present so many challenges, like every day, like showing people what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, hopefully they've done it before, but if they haven't, it's a struggle because you have to have an eye, kinda, even if someone's telling you what to do.
Yeah, I would imagine somebody that's working in that role, just as a camera operator or something like that, has probably done it once or twice and knows knows roundabout what you're looking for.
Yeah, but even like, people that are running spotlights, they sort of don't get it sometimes. So I can imagine that camera is a little bit harder too. But, we just roll with the punches, man. That's what we do. It's rock and roll.
Yeah, for sure. So how exactly did you make the leap going from producing content to the video?
So I went on different tours. So I wasn't touring with Godsmack as much. And then it sort of New Kids on the Block took over. So they were like my main client. So Sully was just like, I want you back. But I was kind of burnt out on shooting the same Godsmack show. You know what I mean? Because it's been, man, I have so many pictures. It's insane.
There's only like so many shots you can get over how many years, And
I was just loving the pop world, like it's a whole nother thing. So I didn't really want to just stay in rock and roll. But Sully was like, we want you back. And like, what if you did this? And I was like, never considered that. It's kind of like it's definitely a creative role, but it's also still cameras,
Yeah.
So I saw an opportunity to skip a bunch of steps in the field where you usually have to work your way up. So I was like, I'll take advantage of that. So I went to Chicago and I learned how to use a switcher in a few days. And then I just went straight in on the first day and didn't even have a full rehearsal. So there was a little bit of a learning curve, but I think I did all right. But now I'm solid.
You're killing it. Like, it's one of those things you, like, especially you watch it and, like, when the band does Nothing Else Matters, there's, like, all these close-ups. Like, it's very artistic, but then, like, your cue hits are just, like, bang on. It's really cool. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I could do it.
You could totally do it.
I don't think I could do it.
You're a genius. You can do it, too. She can do it, too.
So is it same show to show, or is it something where like you can pull a couple of audibles here, or like do you know roughly what you're going to do from show to show, or is it like timed? Like basically, I know that you're directing it, but it's like, is it to like a time code where it's like I have to be on this camera at this time, and this person has to be shooting here?
So yeah,
is it more free flow?
And that's the difference between like what she does and what I'm doing now, because she wants to get all different shit. And for me, I would want to get the same thing every night. Like we try hard. I mean, and the venues change. So sometimes we have to move cameras and stuff like that. But I try to get it the most consistent that it can be because, the song is the same. So this solo is going to happen at this point. This drum fill is going to happen at this point. And you always want to make sure you put that on the screen for the IMAG parts, So yeah, I try to make it as consistent. I do play with things sometimes, and I'm like, oh yeah, I liked that or I didn't. But I try to make every song different. So I'll use different cameras for different people on different songs, just so the whole show doesn't look the same. Each song is different. And then it's just playing with it until it looks good, switching it up, switching the angles, the closeness of some shots, and just trying to make it look as different from song to song as you can with the cameras there without the cameras moving.
She's always perfecting it too. It's one of those things that even we're 4 weeks in on this leg and you've been solid at it for pretty much the whole tour, but you're still I think I can do this better. And you're still tweaking it. But
I mean, that's part of the job anyways, just continuous improvement. I can start out a tour doing something a certain way, but then by the end of it, I don't like to use the word shortcut, but sometimes I'll figure out more efficient ways of doing something, or so I can understand especially with this being a brand new role for you, just figuring it out, and it just gets easier over time. And that's the way that I like to explain basically everybody's job, is that the beginning of the tour, you're just figuring it out, and then it gets easier throughout the end of the tour. And by the end of the tour, you're basically an expert.
Yeah, for sure. But you can still just throw a little curveball in there if you want.
Oh yeah, of course. Why not? It's fun every once in a while.
Yeah, one show I used the really cheesy transitions, Windows 95, and we were laughing so hard.
Oh my God.
And I didn't get yelled at, but I'm not going to do it again. It's literally takes the frame and goes like this and puts it down on the chorus.
That's exactly what I was picturing.
So funny. It was the cover song. It was the last song. Everyone's going nuts. So I was really feeling frisky that night. So I just went for it.
And it's probably one of my favorite jokes in existence, is the type of joke where 90% of the people that won't understand the joke, but the 10% that do absolutely love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering, was the crowd feeling that? Did they like that, or did they think it was funny? Or did they not even notice? Did they just think it was oh, what a wacky director? I don't know. I mean,
I was going, what the hell is going on?
I'm sure there must have been a little bit of everything. There must have been somebody who was is this a PowerPoint of
Was that also the show where the women were just also dancing on stage? Is that the same show?
I don't remember.
Anyway.
Yeah, the last song really goes off. So, I like to.
It's the end,
Yeah.
God, that is outstanding. I would love to do something like that. Because the final show on the last, not the last tour, but the Skillet Theory of a Dead Man run. I worked for Saint Asonia on that one as well. And Saint Asonia came out, and they normally start their set with this hard hitting song, but their tour prank was against Theory of a Dead Man, and they opened with a Theory of a Dead Man song, playing it called Santa Monica, but they butchered it intentionally. And so the whole crowd is just looking at it what the hell is going on here? And Theory's crew was losing their shit watching them just butcher this song. And we found it hilarious, but the crowd had no idea what was happening. And those are the types of jokes that I really enjoy.
Oh yeah. That's what makes it a cool show, I think, especially for the audience, something that's different for them,
Yeah.
Yeah, we did something similar on this Brazil festival. Simple Plan was headlining the stage next to us. I did remember, doesn't currently have a bass player, so there's a few songs where at the end they ring it out differently because they have the crowd react or whatever. So at that point, it's my turn to play the bass, just to let the note ring however long they're gonna go. But in this case, Simple Plan was next, so we had the note going, and then Jeremy goes stick around for Simple Plan, and then we'd play the beginning of that riff of their famous song, and that was sick. And Neil would just this he did it different every night.
That is outstanding. I do want to spend a moment just catching. So ever since then, obviously you're working for Godsmack now.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us how you ended up getting that job?
Well, basically, what was it? Last year, cause I know you guys from working with Nonpoint, so stepped away. I was getting some work up in Canada. That was really, really cool. So I just kind of started moving forward to that. Basically last summer, I just reached out. I said to Paris, I just hit her up. I sent her a message on Instagram and I was like, was giving her the heads up. I'm like, I'm looking for work. If there's any gigs that you can't do, and anyone that's looking, feel free to just let me know.
Oh, so you do what I did to Jose. Like, hey, if you've got anything you can't take.
Yeah, basically. I did that. And then I think literally a week later, Paris was like, hey, call me. And then you did, and you gave me the rundown on this job. And then you said you were and then you just passed on my portfolio to Sully. Yeah. And then literally the next day, Sully called me and he just offered it, which was really
That's
cool.
Great.
Yeah. No,
well, it was like, awesome. I had this gig for, what was it, 12 years, 11 years, I don't know, long time, over 10 years. And so it's kind of my baby. So I was like, who could do this?
You don't want to just hand it off to anybody.
Yeah, it's just it's such a specific kind of tour. We are all from Boston. So it's very Boston. And you kind of have to adapt to that lifestyle. And
yeah.
I felt just because Frankie was on tour with Nonpoint and I know how she was rolling, that she could handle sharing a room with a bunch of dudes on a day off. Yeah, this would be a walk in the park here.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy because Paris and I, I'd never met Paris before, but we just were. I guess we were internet friends. I mean, we were.
Yeah, but it was weird because I followed a ton of people, but for some reason I just took you more seriously. I just, you can just tell some people are your people.
Real recognizes real. That's the way I like to describe it.
Paris and I just always had a thing. The last couple of years, she'd post a part, I'm sick shot, and did that back and forth. So yeah, and then just. Was really cool. You called me and you just kind of gave me the rundown on the job. And it felt, I could tell from what you were saying about it, it didn't feel out of my depth of what, what I was used to.
Yeah.
No, actually this tour feels, easier. Cause when she said, one room with a guy, what it was like with touring, especially the club tours. Cause it was some days we didn't get a dressing room. Definitely no crew rooms. You guys always saw me. I was always squished in the back lounge of the bus trying to edit.
Now look at our own dressing room.
We have our own dressing room
and everything
right now. So I was this actually sounds like an easier job. So I'm in.
I do describe it to people. I say that the job gets easier the higher up you get, and in certain aspects it does.
Mm-hmm.
Because this San Antonio run was a headliner for us, and it was back in 500 cap rooms, and so when they shared the dates with us initially, I outwardly I presented oh fuck yeah, this is gonna be a fucking nose to the grindstone type of fucking run. But then after about a year and a half, 2 years of doing arenas, I was just fuck, I don't know if I want to do it. Ended up being okay, minus the food poisoning and the almost dying in a fiery bus. But
oh god, yeah. You know what the crazy thing is when I toured before, I always would get sick. Do you guys remember that? I always got sick third week in. The cold would always. When we're 4 weeks into this one, and there's no one is sick. It's
yeah, because you have your space to get away from each other.
And the hotel rooms, and I think just like getting like proper air and like
Yeah, and those like club bathrooms are no joke. Like that's
true.
those are a biohazard.
Yeah.
Like a level 3 contamination.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, this tour has been awesome. So I started with Godsmack last August, and they like welcomed me in with open arms. The crew was super cool. Sully was awesome. He threw me in the trenches pretty quickly because we filmed a music video within like 3 days of me like joining the team. He was like, yeah, we're just gonna film it in a green room. And I'm like, you know what green rooms look like? I'm like, he's like, what's it gonna look like? So we had to like decorate this thing and the whole thing, but it worked out. So it was cool seeing that like he was willing to like creatively collaborate, and I wasn't just there like as some fly on the wall, you know, just shooting behind the scenes stuff right away.
Yeah.
Godsmack Truth. Go check out the
just
video
did just drop. It dropped like 2 weeks ago. So that's out, and it worked out. It was cool. And then we did that whole run from August till October, and then we started this tour a month ago, mid-February. And this tour is a very different vibe than the last one. Because the last one was the rock show tour, you know, with all the pyro and the flames. And
so no pyro this time?
No, it's just, they got the video screens, and then like, it's not an acoustic set, but it's like a slowed down Godsmack.
Yeah, because I think your tour was like within a half hour of our tour one night.
What?
Yeah, I texted you.
Oh, right, you're talking about last tour. I was like, this tour?
Oklahoma City. No, this is a different one. We've missed each other twice in the past year. We were in Oklahoma City on the same night, and
now I'm just mad, Darren.
Well, no, because it was the tour that I was on was a co-headline with Blackstone Cherry, which I had no idea how good those dudes were, but like they are unbelievable musicians and even nicer guys. So it was a co-headline, and we were flip-flopping every single night. And of course, that was one of the nights that we had to close, because if we didn't close, I would have packed up the trailer super quick, Ubered over just to check out the Godsmack show. But I mean, and also like I had to tell our guys like, hey, just so you know, Godsmack's in town tonight. They were like, well, there go our ticket sales.
Sorry.
No, actually we did pretty well that night. Like this tour did very well. So
good.
Yeah, it was a really good one, minus the other stuff I talked about earlier.
Good. Well, this tour, I mean, yeah, this tour's been fun. This has been one of the funnest tours for me in like the last few years. So I'm having a good time.
Good.
Yeah, me too. So much easier. This job is a piece of cake.
It's funny because I have your old job.
Yeah. I see you're editing. I'm like, sucker.
I was about to ask, like, what is it like touring with someone who's like doing your old job?
I love it. It's great. I'm in pictures now. It's nuts.
It's good.
I'm used to taking them and never being in them. Now she's not in them. But we have the Ray-Ban sunglasses, so now we're taking pictures of each other. So it's cool.
Cool. I think it's nice because Paris is actually like, I'm not just saying this because she's like literally right here, but she's super chill, like she's super awesome. So like, I could see like it would be weird if you were like working with somebody, you're like, oh yeah, I have your old job, but it's not weird. I don't know if it's because I don't make it weird but I think it's you don't make it weird. Except she makes fun of my gear all the time. That's the only thing.
Awful.
Okay, let's go into that.
Weird.
Well, you borrowed my camera like an hour ago.
2 different brands of cameras. She's like, oh, what's wrong with this card? It was all broken.
No,
I was like, it's cracked. You can't use it. She's like, no, if you just squish it together.
Oh my
I'm
God.
like, oh my God.
That's not true.
That's
She's-
weird.
you were just making fun of because like
She had the lacy hard drives, those big orange ones, like from 17 years ago. She swears by it. I don't know. She didn't have a mouse. She was using the trackpad. She has a mouse now. We upgraded her.
yeah.
She just has
There
her
you
own
go.
Canadian way of doing things, you know?
So
Oh,
that's,
yeah.
that's what it's like to tour with someone who's done your job before. Is they just rip your
Constantly judging.
your job flow apart.
But you know,
Why do you do it that way?
Well, I mean, Jose and I have been in that position too. When I was the drum tech for Nonpoint, he was the guitar tech. You know, I was the former guitar tech, and I moved over to drum tech for that tour. And like, I try not like, I try to stay in my lane when I'm teching, or just like in general, I just try, hey man, that's not my area. I'm here to set up drum sets. So yeah.
no, it's just funny. Obviously the end product's awesome, so it doesn't matter how you get there, but
Right, exactly.
it's just I also like to learn, you know, from her, and I'm like, oh, she's doing it that way. Is that better? And then I'll try it and I'll be like, it's not better at all.
Well, that's just the way they teach it up in the Great White North.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Like Canadians getting better.
very similar.
Yeah.
We're very similar in a lot of ways. It's where it's almost weird. But
It's actually really weird. I actually tell people, like, you know, in the Marvel universe, they have like the same characters, but in different dimensions, they're slightly different.
Yeah.
That's us. We're just like the same, but it different dimensions. It's
So you
really-
guys are the meme of the two Spider-Men like pointing to each other?
Yeah, I'm just the Canadian version that's like just has no filter. Or no, you have the no filter. I have the filter.
I'm just more American. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's also very Boston centric. You know, that's like a lot of, and that's real. I mean, that's more of an East Coast thing as well, because I'm from Philadelphia. So like, you know, I try to tamp it down when I'm talking on podcasts or something like that. But you know, when I'm just like out on the road, like fuck this, fuck you, fuck that, you know, fucking this is fucking broken, everything's a fucking mess. You know.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm awful. I understand that. She's a nicer version of me.
I don't disagree.
Yet another thing we agree about.
You froze for a second. That's why I got awkward.
I wasn't awkward. I was fine.
I got awkward.
See,
Well,
that's-
I'm also still like, everybody. I'm sure the end user can hear it in my voice, but I'm also like just recovering from getting sick as well. I was sick. There was an illness going through the whole tour.
Bus aids.
And- Yeah, bus aids. But it was us, and like every single day was somebody new, and it's just like, oh, John got sick. Oh, Dan's sick now. Kale's sick. And the only person that didn't get sick was Adam.
And that's what matters.
That's the guy that you cannot get sick.
That's what matters.
Yeah.
How is Adam?
He's a gem. I love that man so much.
He's a good one.
He's like, he's extreme. Like, you know, you always hear these horror stories of like these multi-platinum rock stars that have just been like around the block, and you know, like either they can be assholes or they can, you know, I think Adam has the resume to where he could be a complete nightmare, but he's just not.
He's Canadian. It's the filter thing, you know?
Yeah. Like the most that he'll like get upset is like if he doesn't have caffeine. So like if his espresso machine isn't working or something like that, like he'll just be like, no, I really think we should, you know, like even if we got to call somebody, I really think we should get some espresso in here or something. Like, I don't know, can we take this machine into the vet? You know, it's just like he'll try to sit there and problem solve, but he's never rude about it. Like he's an absolute sweetheart.
I love that.
Nice. I've only heard good things about him.
Same.
Yeah. And they're all sweethearts. Like I'm past the point in my career where I'm not working with people I don't want to work with anymore. And it's nice to be in a gig where, you know, I feel as though I'm actually a part of it, as opposed to just like the guy that's in there for now. And so like, you know, they're talking to me about this summer fly dates that we're going to do. And they're talking about, I don't have to worry about my job for the next tour. They just assume I'm coming with.
Yeah.
And then, they're talking to us about, we have 3 fly dates so far booked in the summer. There's stuff that's up in the air for the fall. So, it's exciting to be included in those conversations as opposed to artists that I've worked for in the past. And that's not to talk trash on anyone, but artists that I've worked for in the past that it's all super secret to the crew because you don't know if you just don't know if you're going.
Yeah. Good for you though, Darren. You deserve it. Worked hard.
Trying.
Because I was with Darren on his first tour, and we all have to do that kind of. You learn a lot. Touring is one of those things where it's just you kind of get thrown in really quickly, and it's very fast paced, and it's not everyone can do it. You're away from home. You have to live off very little sleep, and often your first tour is not comfortable, right? So you really got to overcome a lot of hurdles, and then as we were talking about earlier, it gets easier. Hopefully, the better or the more you climb the ladder. But it's I'm happy to see both of you doing it. It's awesome.
Well, thank you, Frankie. I'm just happy to be working. I don't have any delusions of grandeur or anything like that. I'm happy that I'm still in a position to where I can take this work on, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I always feel really lucky. I'm I get paid to take pictures. Which is really cool. And it always feels like everything in your body feels like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So it feels like it's right. But I also realize how lucky it is because there are a lot of people that can't. And we talk about it. We could have bad jobs. We could have sucky jobs. Do you know what my last job was before I started touring? No.
I was a production supervisor in a pork slaughtering facility.
Oh my God.
Probably made a lot of money though.
It paid really well, I'll put it that way, but I felt dead inside every single day.
I'll try that.
And
cool.
I got a lot of free ham and bacon out of it, but
oh my God, dude, go back. What
are you doing out here, dude?
But I don't feel dead inside. I'm doing something I enjoy.
Yeah, but your bank account, damn. Bacon. Whatever.
But yeah, I feel lucky to do this.
I feel like Paris doesn't agree. It's just that's funny.
It's money and bacon, but sure. Yeah, guitars, great. Guitars and rock stars, sure. No, obviously, I'm kidding because.
No, of course.
We're not home right now because we love it. So.
Yeah. So what's is there anything that you guys can discuss moving forward? Any future plans?
I'm doing New Kids on the Block for the summer.
Sick.
That's always super fun. They're amazing. Another 5 boys from Boston, and
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I only work with Boston bands, so that's kind of my thing. And I don't know. After that, I'm hoping this starts again. That would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
Fill up the year nicely.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, because there's this leg and the next leg, which is April to May, and then sounds like there's some festivals in July for Godsmack.
And this has all been announced?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. But otherwise, I'm hoping to book some other things for the summer, but nothing locked in just yet. So if anyone needs a content creator,
the best.
There you go.
The best.
One of the best in the biz.
No, the best, not one of.
You're right. I misspoke. I apologize. The best in the biz.
Thank you.
Yeah,
She's available.
I don't think we've officially said on the podcast. We were talking about it earlier before, like officially hitting record. But we're going to be together this spring.
Yeah, touring on the same tour again since.
That's good. You guys have to collaborate. You got to do some like cool like mashup content.
We'll see. We'll see what there's time for.
You guys wearing Ray-Ban glasses and then just making assholes out of each other as you try and tune your shit. No?
Who can tune faster?
Right?
Well, no. That's not fair. The guy I work for is left-handed, and it sucks.
Oh, damn. I've actually never had to like work with anybody left-handed, which I guess like that's what would make it suck for like the beginning of it.
Well, so like for the beginning of it, I was trying to do it right-handed and just upside down and backwards.
That's what I would do. Yeah.
And both of us were noticing that like I would tune it and then I would give it to him and it was out of tune.
Yeah.
And so
Robbie and Godsmack is left-handed, and you have to hold it the right way. The weight of it. Yeah.
Fucking bass players. So I ended up just having to like tune it left-handed, and like I have a really hard time strumming with my left hand. So I just like one day I just sat there and like beat my left hand into submission and like forced myself to like, and so now I can do it pretty well, but like it just and I've seen other techs like do upside down and backwards. And so like I was weirded out that it didn't work for me, but like the instant I just started tuning left-handed, it was fine. So I maybe it was the way the weight was on the neck or something. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense. Like that would be a factor, but I've never had to do it.
Yeah.
Neither have I. I guess the only equivalent I can think of is, I mean, this isn't even the equivalent, but like on my cameras, depending on the camera brand, the zoom is the opposite way. And so you just have like your brain has to like, because you're so used to like autopiloting this way. And then I gotta go. It's a thing.
Which is, again, weird. She has two different bodies.
Is there a reason you have two different brand cameras? Like,
yeah, it's because I was broke for a long time.
But like they serve different purposes. Like what? Like
no, I just haven't migrated all my gear over yet. I started with Nikon, and I love Nikon. But then Sony is just really good for concerts because their sensors are really good at low light. And especially before I was working with Godsmack, I was doing a lot of club tours, which means the lighting was shit.
Garbage. Yeah.
Garbage.
If you even had lights.
So I started moving over to Sony for those environments. And then I invested in bodies and lenses. But there are certain lenses, especially on this tour, because it's theater shows and I'm having to shoot from like further against the walls because there's no photo pits. It's all like seated theaters.
See, she's nicer than me. I would just stand in front of people.
Anyway.
The Canadian.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have to shoot from the edge.
Nice.
Even Sully told me I wasn't allowed to be as visible on stage this tour. So it's not just me.
On stage, not in front of the people.
Okay,
That's all right. You're good.
I still get the shots. So I have a much bigger lens, and it's like a $3,000 lens, and I don't use it all the time. So I don't want to justify paying for that just yet in Sony when I don't need it all the time. So I just brought my Nikon lens, and
she could just sell it on eBay or something.
that's why I have two camera bodies. That was me.
If you need logistical solutions, just give me a call. I will help you out. I'm going to teach you how to do eBay.
Okay, so I think by the second leg, I'm going to have a new lens.
Yeah, you can sell that lens to another Nikon user, probably a 75-year-old man. And then he'll be super happy to have it because he can take pictures
She
of
really
birds.
doesn't like Nikon. I don't know why.
There's out here throwing shade.
yeah.
Canon girl. Come on.
I don't like Canon.
I'm gonna get this. I'm doing a podcast. You want to be on it? You made me cupcakes? She made me cupcakes.
Oh, cupcakes.
Show them. Oh my gosh. Thank you. A pink one for me? Holy moly. It is my favorite color, of course.
Welcome to working with Paris.
Really? Okay, I'll call you back. Love you.
Well, can we just come in here now? We might as well.
I'm not going to
stay long. I was just going to say something. Oh, is it a podcast?
This is a podcast. Come say
This
hi.
is Emily.
This is Emily. This is our VIP.
Hola.
Hello.
Aaron, Jose,
What up?
and there's Timmy. Everyone's just.
I was
Welcome to Roadie
I
Friday.
So I was going to tell you all this. Can I tell it on
This
here?
is
Yeah,
Timmy.
sure. He'll
He
cut
plays
it if it's wrong.
guitar. He's so good. He's so talented. Oh my god.
So
He's the best.
So, you know how we play Seal all the time?
Yeah.
I was literally walking into the hotel last night and that just started playing. And I was like,
Crazy?
yes. It started playing. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I got to tell my girls. Anyway, that's all. It's nice to meet you guys.
Very
Yeah.
nice meeting you.
I get some checks.
Bye. Okay, and back.
And go.
I think you
Um,
can call
You
that
keep
in
that.
there.
You can keep all
Oh,
that in.
we're keeping it.
honestly, I might. It's a game time decision. Because like now since we've added video, like it's so much harder to edit just because like,
Oh, you
you
can
know,
jump.
yeah, exactly. And like, you know, audio, like I can just make shit up and I can basically like, you know, take a conversation and just like, you know, cut out the tops and tails and stuff like that and put it together and make however I want a conversation to sound. But video, on the other hand, like if I'm in the middle of saying something and my head's pointed this way, but then like the next point and I'm trying to make my head points, like it's just, it's all this
You have
stuff.
a safety camera. That's the trick.
Double
A
angle.
what?
A safety camera.
Yeah, 2 angles so you can switch to the other. Just, you know, if you need advice, just call us, all right?
I appreciate that. I will. So does anybody have any final thoughts?
No. You know what? We've been creating a lot of content together
Mhm.
now that we're on tour, so keep an eye out for that
Mhm.
because it's a lot more fun when you're not alone.
It's true. That's actually, you know, I will say that that's been the fun thing for this tour. Cause like at the beginning, when I started this tour, I was like, you know, we had a day off and I was like, oh, I'm going to go edit alone in my hotel room. Like I usually do on a day off. And Paris was like, oh, I'll edit too. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, let's just like meet down. And we were like in the restaurant being like the two weirdos. Everyone else was like getting drunk at the bar and like hanging out. And we had our laptops just sitting there editing for like, must have been like 4 or 5 hours.
Just being nerds.
We got it done.
But we got it
We got
done.
it done.
And then that kind of became like a ritual that if like, 'cause I usually have to edit on days off anyway. So I would start, she'd just pull out her laptop too. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm not alone. I got a friend. And then I guess we've been friends since.
It's the hustle, baby. That's what we have in common.
Yeah. So we've, on those days too, we've like been coming up with some content ideas and just kind of like motivating each other to just kind of, you know, put our own stuff out on socials. And, yeah, you put out a video yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Explaining what a video director is because a lot of people are just like, didn't you used to shoot video anyway? Like,
Yeah.
What do you mean?
And I've had people message me too, being like, if Paris is on the tour, why are you there? So we're just kind of like, okay.
Man, that's as rude as hell. Just texting someone, why are you there?
They weren't meaning it like that, but yeah.
So that actually is something else that I wanted to bring it up, and I'll just bring this up super quickly. But when you're shooting content, you know, obviously you get hours and hours of footage that you compile into this polished product that you put out. Is it something that you like? You have to get management's approval before? Obviously, I feel like you would have to get management's approval to post something. But then, like, what is that process like? And you know, I could imagine that, you know, emails may not be, you know, as timely and anything like that. And so, do you have to like, say, hey, put this together. We'd like to put this out sometime within the next 12 hours or something? Like, do you have to, I guess, motivate the person on the other end to like approve or disapprove?
Is this question for me? I guess we can both technically answer this one.
It's different for every band, honestly. Like with this one, like everything goes through Sully. He'll come in and he'll edit from our computers just because he knows what I taught him how to edit. So, it's more of a collaboration. And then there's also the social media manager, Dom, who will go through and post stuff, and like they trust her to make the right decisions for photos. But yeah, everything is approved for sure.
Yeah, and that's Godsmack, where like when I work with I work a lot with Simple Plans management team. Their social media managers will send me like what they're looking specifically for to be shot or put together. And then I'll work with them on edits or whatever we're working on. And then they'll send it to the artist to approve. Once management, like they kind of filter it and decide if they think it's worth or what the artist is going to look for. And then they'll send it on. And then once the artist approves, then they approve.
Have you ever had to fight for a piece of content that you thought was great, but like everybody else is like, I'm not so sure?
No, if they don't like it, then we don't use it. That's the end of it. It's their name, it's their band, it's their image. Like if they don't like it, then they don't like it.
Yeah, you can't.
I'm not butthurt by that. You know when you take a picture of someone and they're like, "Oh, I look awful," and I'm like, "Really? I think you look good."
Yeah.
It's just like you can't get into people's heads. If they don't like it, they don't like it. You don't push it. You just make something that they do like.
Well, and that's the thing. Photography and videography is like very psychological too. Like people see themselves in a certain way, right? It's like when you look in a mirror, you like a certain angle of how you look, right? So you kind of have to try and like figure out what that is with someone. And that's the thing. So like, even though you might see like all these other things, if they don't see it, they don't see it.
At the beginning of the tour, I literally go, "What's your insecurity?" Like straight up.
I do that on shoots. I literally do that on photo shoots. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, I don't like this side." They'll tell you. "I have a double chin. I don't want," they don't want to see it either. You're on their side. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just easier to talk about it rather than be weird.
Well, and it's better to like know and then not know, and then
they think you're bad because you have their double chin that you didn't know that they think they have when they don't.
Yeah.
It's just, communication.
Yeah, it boils down to communication with your artist.
Yep. And not being weird about it. Or being really weird about it. I get weird.
I was about to say, that's my specialty. I like making things super weird.
Oh, yeah.
I like being weird.
But you're both good at it, but you're both different about it too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, we're still here, baby. We're still hired.
Yeah.
I'm not fired. I think it's...
Haven't been fired from a gig yet.
Oh, I've never been fired.
I should put that on my resume.
Never been fired.
Never been fired. That's not something a lot of people can say. You think about
really?
it.
I mean, I've been not asked to do the next tour, but I've never been sent home.
Yeah, you've been fired. You can't put that on your resume. I can. I still can. Yeah. She gets so scared when I'm an asshole. Yeah, you're like, "Oh my God, just stop." I can tell.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. I still hang out.
Jose, do you have any final thoughts?
No. I mean, I'm excited to go on tour together again, which will be cool. Starting mid-April or something like that.
April 20th, I think, is the first date.
Cool. Yeah, we have rehearsals.
420,
bro.
bro.
We have rehearsals. I'm guessing it's about a week and a half before that.
We got one day.
Oh, damn, dude.
But we're also we're not bringing out the production that you guys are.
I don't know what anything looks like yet.
So, actually, do we have any real final thoughts?
No. I think that's it. Except really freaking cool tours. Everyone's kicking ass.
Yeah, you guys are fucking killing everything.
Thanks, Darren.
Yeah, it's fun. We're having fun.
Yeah. If we are in the same city or if we're coming up to your areas, you guys have got to come out and see the show.
Yeah.
Always. I'll always make an attempt. And if the attempt doesn't work out, then at least I made the attempt.
Sure. Yeah.
But anyways, it was wonderful chatting with you guys. And I'll catch up with you all soon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Roadie Friday podcast. Have a question or an idea? Email us at roadiefridaypod@gmail.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. Theme music by Ricky Armellino. Editing and production by Darren Makins.